Hi, this is Yolanda Van Veen from VanVeenBulbs.com. In this segment, we'll talk about what kind of flowers should I put in my yard. Now, when I garden, I always remember that it's my garden, and your garden is your garden, and it's all about you. So when I'm planting flowers in my garden, I try not to take too many things too seriously, because in the end, it's all about me and what I enjoy. And so I like to look on the internet, onto different websites that give you lots of different ideas on what to plant in your garden. But when it comes down to it, I just collect plants wherever I go. And that's a good rule of thumb. If you go to a garden center or a farmer's market and you see something that you like, and you've got a sunny spot and it will do well in the sun, plant it there. You don't always have to know the names of everybody that comes to your party to enjoy their company. So I try to remember the names of the plants that I purchase, but of course I forget some of the names. And in the end, that doesn't really matter, because all that matters is that you enjoy your garden, because it is an extension of you. You can have a very formal garden with everything marked and everything simple and not very crowded. Or you can have just a big summer party and a big barbecue bash, and you can mix and match all different types of plants that like the sun or the shade, and just put groups of them all over, and you can move them around later, and you don't have to be strict with it either. It's whatever you want to do. So my favorite plants that I have in my garden, and that I would definitely recommend, are the following plants. This is my Millennium Gold Calla Lily. It likes full hot sun, and I love it because it's got spotted leaves, and it's got these bright, lemony, yellow flowers that last almost all summer long, and it'll keep blooming for lots and lots of periods of time. And I love that it'll do full hot sun more than shade, because I've got a lot of sun, and it does really well. This Cleopatra canna lily is, of course, one of my most favorite plants in my garden. I've got some in the garden. I've got some in containers. I love the striped leaves. So when you're picking out plants, make sure to take into account what the leaves look like, what the fragrances are, and if they're not fragrant, if they are fragrant. And it's all about you again. I love the spots, and I love the different textures of the Cleopatra. It's gorgeous. And I love all the tropical plants that we can get away with growing in the Northwest. This is my Mandevilla or Mandevilla plant, and it's just a vine, but I love the bright red flowers, and I love that hummingbirds really, really enjoy it. And next to that, I have my Gladiolus murielii, or also known as Acidanthera, and I just love it. It has a nice fragrance like grape bubble gum. And it has little spots in the middle that are burgundy that are just gorgeous. So it's a really, really, really pretty plant. But there's another 10,000 to 100,000 plants that we haven't talked about. So gardening to me is just like meeting everybody else that you meet in your life. You enjoy their company when they're there, and you invite them over whenever you can, but you realize that you can't possibly have every plant in the world in your garden. And it's about change. Some plants stay for years and years. Some plants go away after 2 years. But I never take it personally, because I know there's many more plants that I can meet in the future that will enjoy my garden. So when I'm trying to decide what kind of plants to put in my garden, I look through magazines, I look through web pages, I look through different websites that have different ideas. And I realize that plants will never do the same in my yard as they do in other people's yards, just as people will never act the same as at your parties as they will at other people's parties. But in the end, it really doesn't matter. All that matters is that you have a good time in your garden. And that's my advice. Just plant plants when you can find them and enjoy their company when you can.